you play the game, you will see your character just fall down. Now we want it to fall onto something, to fall onto some floor. Well, I'm going to do that, and to do so, we want to go back to the 2D view. So click 2D or press F1, and we're going to put the player back to the origin. In the inspector, with the player selected, go down to the transform category and click the reset icon next to the position. It's going to reset it to 0. And we're going to create our level. Go to scene, new scene. It's going to be a, let's start with a 2D scene for now. And we're going to call it level, let's say template or test level, something like that. Save this with Control S. As far as the path is concerned, you want to create a new folder in your source folder, call it levels, okay, and save your level template there. We are going to add a tile map in our level. So select level template, click the plus button or press the shortcut Control A to add a node and search for tile map. Press enter to add it. You will see with the tile map selected, the editor turn into the tile map editor. A tile map needs a tile set resource that you will see in the inspector. So we have one prepared for you in the assets folder that you can click and drag. If you want to create it, however, you want to clear that, click the tile set here, create a new tile set, and click on the resource to open the tile set editor that looks like that. In this editor, we have to load a texture, an image that will chop into cells that we can then use to create levels on a grid. So click the plus button, go to assets, and you want to load the tileset.png file. You will see then in the center part of the editor, you will have your texture opened. Then we want to create a new single tile, and once you do that, you have a snap icon that appears. I'll just click and drag to start to create a region to then be able to set the snapping option, the grid here. So once it's on and you can see the snapping grid, you can expand the snap options in the inspector on the right. And we're going to set the step to 80 times 80. Then with the select tool active, click your original region, like you click on the cell, and it will automatically snap the tile to it. If you go back to the tile map and click and drag, you can start to draw your level. You will see that our texture is a bit larger than the grid cells. We're going to change that in a moment. But first, let's click back on our tile set resource to finish editing it. So you select the texture, you select the cell, like the single tile that you have here, and we will add a collision to it. This will make our character stop against the walls and the floor. Click the collision tab, select the square, create a new rectangle icon, and this will automatically, when you click inside of your tile, create a square or a rectangle that fills the entire tile instantly. So that way, you can fold down that tile set here, that editor, go back to the tile map, and when you click and drag, you are creating walls that the character will collide with. Now we need to change the cell size to match that of our tile set. In the inspector, with the tile map selected, expand the cell category, and the size is 64 by 64. We want it to be 80 by 80, just like our texture. And then you can click and drag to create walls and ground that will stop the character, the player. I'll close the assets folder, expand the source actor, and now you can take your player here and drag and drop it anywhere inside the scene. So I'll put it up in the sky. I will click and drag the player so it's a child of level template and not of the tile map, and then press F6 to play the game. You'll see the character fall and it will stop on the floor. So that's one nice thing that we have here.